Across Zambia, a number of children attend school, but many, unlike others, never truly learn, confidently read, write, or calculate. However, this is not a failure of attendance, but some children may learn at a slower pace than others. In response to this, the Ministry of Education and its cooperating partners adopted an evidence-based methodology dubbed Teaching at the Right Level into a national educative program known as Catch-Up. Catch-Up, which has now grown active in 9 out of Zambia's 10 provinces, established its pilot program in 2016 with support from FEMI's Association for Development Cooperation and Technical Assistance. During the pilot phase from 2016 to 2017, children in grade 3 to 5 were regrouped by their ability rather than grade. The children benefited from the program, such as intensive bootcamp, model, or an hour-a-day model. The program was conducted in 4 districts, which included Chipata and Katete in Eastern, lastly Monze and Pemba in Southern Province. The program was conducted with the overall budget, training as well as monitoring and mentoring support from VVOB. The program allowed for children to be regrouped in catch-up classrooms by level, where teachers facilitated small groups by the use of learning aids such as bundles, charts, playing learning games, and assessment exercise, among others. Catch-Up uses frequent assessments of both literacy and mathematical ability. Thereafter, each learner progresses to the next level at their own pace in order to move up to the next group. During the recent tour by VVOP and various cooperating partners, alongside the Ministry of Education in Kalomo District and Katete District of Eastern Province, the tour brought to light some of the successful stories as well as the challenges faced. With so much achieved through this program, cooperating partners are optimistic that the initiative is meant to help children with literacy and mathematical skills.
So I recommend that we should also put in those experts in this important task force so that we see how we can help especially those of our class that can be slow learning related to some health complications. But that being said as well, we believe also that when our children are helped in line with education, with reading, it really gives them a platform to survive in different areas of their livelihood.
This is a call to action. We must ensure that no child is left behind in this program. We need to ensure that there are laws that protect learners in early grades, but also ensure that more resources are allocated towards primary education. I will just highlight a few challenges that I have observed so far. We have a very huge gap between learners and teachers. The pupil-teacher ratio is very huge. We need more trained teachers in these schools. We need learning materials. We need infrastructure. So these are some of the challenges associated with the catch-up program, which needs to be worked.
Head teachers from Kawaza and Kagoro Primary School highlighted some of the benefits that have come with the catch-up program.
On the other side, we have teachers, the other side, we have parents. Together with the partners, VVOB, we are able to teach our learners. Why am I talking about VVOB? They are the owners, they are the funders of these activities and programs that are in catch-up. So all in all, there are 3 things that I've mentioned. I've talked of VVOB, I've talked of the parents, and I've also talked about the school. For a child to do well, there are 3 main factors. The factor number 1 is the environment where a child comes from. The factor number 2 is the school environment. where a child comes from. And the factor number 3 is the school itself, the relationship that should exist between the child and the pupil. All these 3 put together, they will make sure that our child or children in school are able to accelerate in education.
And each and every child is more like it's a mandate that each and every child has to go through an EC center before coming to grade 1. That EC center is a center which is used to monitor even the growth of the child. So as a result, the health sector has really helped us to make these kids grow in a normal way, and we don't have most of the problems that we face.
With tremendous progress in this district, Kalomo, Central Member of Parliament, commends the catch-up program, noting that many children are now able to learn at their own pace.
Catch-up program is a very good program which is helping learners. Those who are behind, they are given an opportunity to be taught at their level. So what happens is that learners will be brought from main classes, maybe grade 1 up to 5, and taken, if they're at level 1 where they can't even add or read, then they'll be taken to learn at their own level. So it's a very good program, catch up. With the previous school where I went to, there are 1,500 students and 700 are in the catch up. And it's really helping the learners to learn how to add, to count, to write and read. So we have a situation where some learners can't even write 4 up to grade 5. They're not able to write even numbers. But now through catch up, they're being helped and improving very much. We had one scenario where a child was being pushed without even able to write the name, to read up to grade 8. And when they assessed that child has to be brought back to grade 5. And then through catch up helped. And once they are helped with catch up, they're able to read, they're able to write. You imagine now somebody going to school for 5 years and can't still write, read. That's really horrible. But catch up is really helping. We have VVO that is helping, and we have 5 MPs now that are champions of catch up. And we want to make sure that the government at least now pays more attention on foundation learning. Because all along we've had primary school taking more money, secondary school, but early childhood learning not really taking that much. So we want to change that scenario, lobby from the ministry so that catch up can really go to every school so that it can help as many students as possible.
There are numerous challenges, I think, that are different across different contexts. I'm working at an international level, so I think here in Zambia there are different fronts to tackle foundational learning on. So when I talk about foundational learning, I'm talking about literacy, numeracy and socio-emotional skills in the early grades of primary school. And I think one of the key challenges is making sure that there are the provision of textbooks and early grade readers in classrooms. As we know, with adequate teaching and learning materials, children have access to books to be able to read, but they also have access to ideas and storytelling and critical thinking and learning about other people, other communities and other cultures. So books are a lot more than just learning about literacy. They're learning how to read. They are also learning about the wider world and helping children to grow up as individuals able to contribute meaningfully in their societies and communities. I have been working closely with Honourable Kamboni and partners such as VVOB and of course the Ministry of Education to raise awareness of the catch-up programme and what some of the key issues are to ensure that no child gets left behind in school. And I think this program has started through, there is a drive across Africa. This is not individual to the organisation I work for, and neither to the Ministry of Education in Zambia or to the Parliament in Zambia. There is a nationwide and continental effort to ensure that literacy and numeracy levels are reached for children in the early grades of primary school. And so the work that's being done here is just one piece of a very big picture. And the efforts are exemplary. When I attend international conferences, I always hear about Catch Up in Zambia, the success of Catch Up in Zambia. So it's really testament to the dedication and hard work that's going on here.
Success stories remain at the top of Catch Up program with applause from school head teachers, teachers, and pupils.
Catch up to me and my staff at the institution is a very good intervention in terms of methodologies, with the following reasons. First reason is that catch up has an objective which is trying to address the challenges the slow learners or backward learners are facing. It is a swift methodology which can enhance smooth delivery and provision of quality education in terms of literacy progression and numerous concepts, rather skills, which includes operations. It's a very good one because its approach to learning and teaching activities is that of hands-on and more of concrete-oriented methodology, as opposed to other methodologies which might be more of semi-concrete or abstract in nature.
This program, I found it to be very, very important, especially in the areas of reading and the numerals. Most learners like it. Even when they hear it's time for catch-up, you see how they rejoice to go in class, because it is more like in other strategies. Children are more like doing games, and so that makes them really enjoy the lesson.
This catch-up program in our district has made a lot of wonders because it has brought on board learners that are left behind. So this one brings on board during their own free time are able to learn so that they get to the level of the learners. And so because of that, we have seen learners catching up, coming to the level of where the other people, the so-called fast learners are. And it has embraced a lot of learners and they have come to like it. It is so practical because it uses real objects. The concrete objects are used, and learners, when the concrete objects are used, they don't easily forget. They will always remember. Otherwise, it has brought wonders, and learners are appreciating it. Teachers are appreciating it. It is doing very well.
Learners who progress levels regain confidence and encourage others.
And the teachers here are great. They teach us a lot, and they give us homeworks to go give our parents so that they can help us with it. And the catch-up is great to help us so that we learn more about whatever we learn in our classes.
Reflecting on the themes, imaging remains important. Teacher shortages and high transfers, insufficient replacement or continuity, infrastructure deficits, insufficient classrooms, furniture, learning materials, the challenge of sustaining quality and fidelity across a large scale. Catch-up has demonstrated measurable gains in literacy and mathematics in pilot and scale phases. Evidence supports that when teachers are trained, supported, mentored, and held accountable, learning accelerates.
What we are trying to do to help these learners, we talk to them one-on-one to find out why they are doing so or why they are shy. So we encourage them to feel as if they are part of the group and learn with the learners, and we also encourage those who laugh at each other to stop it because they are the reason why they are not participating fully. Ministry to help us with more materials. As much as we are aware of that, we are able to make local materials. We need more help on that so that we can do this program or carry it with all our efforts.
To the learners who have not yet joined Catch Up, I'm encouraging them to start this program. It is a very good program, very interesting. There are a lot of games that are done there. They'll be playing games while learning. So the Catch Up program is a very good program that every learner should take part in it and participate fully.
VVOB Zambia Strategic Education Advisor implored government for the initiative of catch-up program.
The Ministry of Education, as a response to the challenges that I've outlined, thought of having a remedial program that was going to be able to support them with having children to break through in literacy and numeracy and be able to catch up to the grade level in which they are at. So catch up began as a pilot in 2016 and has today reached up to 9 out of 10 provinces in the country. We are only remaining with Copper Belt for it to reach a full scale. The Ministry of Education conducted a research to find out what other remedial programs are available in the world, and catch up or teaching at the right level methodology is a methodology that they found that was originating from India, and it is from there that they felt that they could bring it to Zambia, contextualize it and call it catch up, and be able to teach it in the mainstream in part of their teaching and learning around. So it's really a ministry initiative, and as partners as VVOB, we are really just trying to reinforce what the ministry wants and wants to do, and so we support them with technical support in that regard.
The Ministry of Education has been supporting this program, more especially that we have different stakeholders that have come on board to support the learners, more especially those that we want to improve in literacy and numeracy, so that these learners can come to the levels of others. This time around, we are not saying a child should not learn. A child should learn to reach the levels of others. So this is the desire of the ministry, the desire of government, to see that every learner reaches the expected level of others. Unlike saying this child does not understand and we leave that child behind. This time around, we don't want to leave any child behind. We want a child to learn with others, to reach the levels of others.
And the catch-up program is a remedial learning program, so it supports children that have fallen behind in mainstream classes to catch up to the right grade level as the rest of their friends and peers in the classroom. And engaging Honourable Kamboni on this agenda has been vital. Parliamentary support for learning is key to mobilising the political will at the government level to make sure there's enough policy around learning, there are adequate resources, and there's sufficient funding that can help with teacher training, teacher allocation, infrastructure in schools, and of course teaching and learning materials as well.
It emanated from remedial work, and the process of trying to see the children who are not doing well, now to bring them to the level where others are. A concept of catch-up program came in, so that they are able to catch up where others are. So how do we do it? They have extra time to be given to learn. It is also what we call teaching at the right level concept. It is actually in 3 levels. You want the intervention is to make them move to where the other children are. Therefore, we give what we call additional intervention in literacy and numeracy. It's not only in math and in numeracy, it is both in literacy and numeracy, because those are critical. They are foundation for education. When a child is able to read and write and able to do basic computation, it's very easy to interpret whatever or manage activities you give them.
Government's adoption and scaling of the program shows political will and alignment with national education goals. The program aligns with Zambia's commitment and the continental end of learning poverty campaign to ensure fundamental literacy and mathematics by age 10. Suggested recommendations from stakeholders remain critical for the advancement of this program, some of which to integrate mental health, psychosocial support experts from the Ministry of Health, non-governmental organizations, or clinical psychologists in the program structure. Some children may struggle to keep up, not because of poor teaching, but due to underlying health, cognitive, or psychological conditions. By diagnosing and supporting each learners, mislabeling them as low or low ability can be prevented. Education and health must come together. Ensuring that catch-up is fully institutionalized in pre-service teacher training and continuous professional development strengthen the monitoring, mentoring, and learning systems. Ensure teacher retention strategies and initiatives increase resource allocation for infrastructure and materials. Gradually expand into earlier and upper grades to prevent the struggle of keeping up in the first place. Ensure sustainability by integrating catch-up methods into national secular, teacher training colleges, and budget lines. Catch-up is more than a remedial program. It is a statement of brief that no child should be left behind. With the right support, every learner must progress. The journey is not without obstacles, teacher shortages, resource constraints, health challenges, infrastructure deficits, but the gains thus far are real, the improvements tangible, and the hope profound. As Zambia marches forward on its end learning poverty agenda, it is suggested that catch-up must be more than a pilot or project. It must be woven into the DNA of the education system. In doing so, the country will transform classrooms, communities, and future ahead. Let every Zambian child have that chance. Let's catch up together.